All right, let's get into it. We've all gotten used to AI that can chat with us, right? But what if it could actually do stuff? Today, we're talking about a massive leap forward, where AI goes from just talking to actually tackling tasks. Let's break down what that really means. So, picture this. You tell an AI, hey, plan a weekend trip for me to a new city. And instead of just spitting out a bunch of links for you to click, it just does it. It books the flights, it reserves the hotel, it even puts together an itinerary, all by itself. That's the kind of agentic future we're diving into. But getting from a simple conversational partner to an AI that actually does things, that's a huge shift. It means we have to move way beyond the limits of a simple chat. So we're leaving behind that simple back and forth you get with a chatbot. We're moving into an era of what researchers are calling long horizon tasks. And what does that mean? It means you don't have to give the AI step-by-step instructions. You just give it the final goal, the destination, and it figures out the entire journey to get there itself. So what's the magic behind this? What's the engine that's driving this whole new capability? Well, it really all boils down to one core idea. And that idea is called agentic tool calling. It sounds a bit technical, but put simply, it's what gives an AI the ability to not just think, but to act. It can, on its own, pick up and use a whole set of digital tools to get a complex job done, from the very beginning to the very end. And the difference here is it's huge. Just think about it. A passive chatbot, that's kind of like a calculator. Yeah, it's powerful, but it just sits there, waiting for you to punch in the next command. An active agent, now that's more like a project manager. You just give it the end goal and it takes the initiative. It figures out the plan. And get this, it can even fix its own mistakes if something goes wrong. Okay, so how does an AI level up from being a simple calculator to a full-blown project manager? Well, it all comes down to this really powerful combination, the ability to reason and having a whole toolbox of actions it can actually take. This quote from OpenAI really gets to the heart of the matter. See, instead of teaching the AI a super rigid step-by-step process, developers are training it on the solution, the final correct outcome. The AI then has to learn, basically through trial and error, how to figure out the best path to get there, all by itself. And through that whole learning process, the AI develops what we call its own chain of thought. You can literally think of it as the AI's internal monologue. It's where it reasons through a problem, breaks it down into smaller pieces, and then builds a strategy to solve it. So that's the whole reasoning part of the equation. But hey, reasoning alone is just thinking, right? To actually get things done, the AI has to be able to act. And that's where the tools come in. These are like the AI's hands. Not physical hands, of course, but things like functions, APIs, database connections, stuff that lets it actually reach out and interact with other digital systems. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. You give the agent a goal. First, it breaks that goal down. Then it comes up with a plan. Then it starts using its tools, maybe looking up some order details. After that, it looks at the results, thinks about what to do next, and keeps going until the job is done. It's this continuous loop, right? Reason, act, analyze, repeat. And when you combine that powerful reasoning with a really versatile tool belt, some pretty amazing new abilities just emerge. The AI becomes truly goal-oriented. It's laser-focused on that end result. It gets resourceful. It can bounce back from failure, and it can stay on track even through really long, complicated tasks. So you see, this whole combination of reasoning and action, it's not just some new feature. No way. This is a whole new foundation, a completely new way of thinking about and building AI applications. And this is a really fundamental shift in how we think about this stuff. For everyone, developers and users alike, the basic building block of an AI interaction isn't a message or a prompt anymore. Nope, it's the entire task. Success is no longer about getting a good answer. It's about getting a job done. So when developers build these new systems, they're thinking in terms of four main pillars. First, you've got the agent itself. That defines the goal and the tools it can use. Then there's the infrastructure, the back end that makes it all run. Third is the product, which is the interface, how you and I actually see what's going on. And finally, there's evaluation, which is all about measuring success based on the final outcome, not just on every little step along the way. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this real. We're going to walk through a concrete example based on a cool demo from OpenAI to see exactly how one of these agents gets a task done out in the wild. So here's the request from a customer. It's super simple and direct. Now, in the old chatbot world, this would probably kick off a whole long back and forth, right? What's your order number? What's your email? But for an agent, this is the starting gun.
The agent doesn't need to ask which order or can I get your order number. It totally understands the high-level goal here. Get this person a refund. Full stop.
So, behind the scenes, it instantly creates its own plan, its own little to-do list. It knows it has to 1. Find the user Alain, 2. Locate his last order, 3. Pull up the details, 4. Use the refund tool, and 5. Confirm that everything's complete. And what's really cool is it can even show you this plan, so you know exactly what it's doing. And boom, the agent is off to the races. First step, it calls a tool to get the user data and find Alain in the system.
Okay, user identified. Next up, it calls another tool, this time to get the order details. It scans their purchase history to find the exact one that needs refunding.
And then comes the final, most important step. The agent calls the refund tool, connecting straight to the payment API to actually process that transaction. And just like that, task complete. The thing to notice here is that from that very first simple request all the way to the money-back confirmation, 0 human help was needed. The agent handled the entire thing, from start to finish, all on its own. So, there you have it. We've seen this incredible shift from AI as just a chatbot to AI as an actual autonomous collaborator. It's not just about getting answers anymore. It's about getting things done. Which, of course, leaves us with one really big question. When these AI agents can handle pretty much any digital task we can think of, what are you going to build?